Hello everyone, welcome back to Prodigy. This is my mini golf course. My name is Jeff. I designed it, built it, maintain it, and change it all the time. So I'd like to go over kind of some of the changes I've made this course in the last 6 months. Since the tournament, I didn't want to do too many changes before the tournament to allow people to get to know the course. But since then, I've made some pretty substantial changes. So I want to do another playthrough and show you guys some of the changes, but also some of my new strategies, and hope that I get a good score. So let's kind of just play through the course and see how I do. This is hole 1. This is the brand new hole 1. Just finished it a couple hours ago. Only played it a few times. So I have a strategy I've kind of built. So a hole in one is possible on this one, and I'll go over why I'm making these changes to the course. It's to keep it fresh, but it's also, there's a new course playthrough method that's going to be a little bit more difficult, that's coming out in a couple weeks, so I had to make some pretty big changes to the course to get it ready for it. But hole 1, the new one, if you remember the old one, it's kind of bank off the right, bank off the left, and go in. There was only one option to play through. This gives you many options, but also many other angles and opportunities for the ball to be struck back. So you definitely want to kind of keep your putts low and hope for the best on this one. But the hole-in-one strategy would be, as I have not done yet, but it would be to this right, and then there's a slight window that goes right up onto the green into the cup. I've hit the cup, so I know it's possible. I just haven't made it yet. So, but it isn't necessarily a strategy that I would normally take on this hole. I would just take the easy strategy, and it goes right up the middle. Again, the window is pretty small still, but not as small to the right. So you just want to kind of leave it right up the middle onto the green and go for it too. Let's see how I do. And right up, and right there. That's a little far, but I think I can still pull it off. There you go, 2. For the next couple weeks or so, you're still going to see the indents of the old obstacles. It shouldn't affect play much at all, but you will see it as time goes by. The carpet will release and kind of go back to normal. All right, hole 2. Nothing's changed here. I still use the strategy of bank it off the right, and I want to kind of leave it up here into this little box here, because I think that's the best way of hole-in-one-ing it. But if you hit it too hard, it's not that bad. It still goes down that way and ends up down there, so that's totally fine. But you also don't want to hit it too soft, because the ball will roll back, and you will not have a good time going out of bounds. So let's see how I do here. All right, hitting it hard, it's not too bad. Leave it out here. All right, it seems about right that I can just bank off that right rail there. Right in. Okay, so 2's not bad. Again, nothing's really changed here. And yeah, we'll move on. Hole 3. All right, hole 3, nothing's really changed here. You still want to kind of get it up into that shortcut up here to send it down there. If not, it banks down into here. But if you hit it too hard, it will bank all the way back out into the tee area again. And that's definitely not what you want, but let's see if we can avoid that. There it is. Nice. Okay. Onto the rough. Maybe we can get a 2 on this. Ooh, not hard enough. I'll take the 3 though, that works. All right, hole 4. Moving right along here, I'll go in the right tee spot. This is different. The whole tee area is different. It used to be here. The tee used to be right here, and you would hit it this way, and there was a rail right here you want to kind of rail it up against and make it up this hill. I had to get rid of that. So I don't know when I changed this. It might have been before the tournament. I don't remember, but you just want to, well, you can put it straight up and leave it up there, which is the easiest strategy, to leave it down here. and then you got your putt onto the green, so hopefully a 3. You do want to watch out for this. This is when the course starts to get a little bit more difficult, where you have this little fall off here. You don't want to hit it too hard. But what I try to do is I go up this left alleyway here. I bank it off the left wall, bank it off the right wall, and send it down into this area. Hopefully stopping it here, but you know, it is also the way of hole-in-one-ing this, and it's sometimes pretty probable. Oh, not hard enough. Let's see if we won't go out of bounds. Nope, out of bounds. Okay, so out of bounds, the way that works here is there's no stroke penalty, but all strokes count. So that was 1 stroke, went out of bounds, and then you put the ball, you replace the ball last where it was struck. So it was struck on the tee pad, that's where it goes. So stroke 1 is done, this is for stroke 2. A little harder this time. There we go. And it rolled back. Still not bad, but this is possible. All right, so this angle could get crazy here, because I am going to try to bank it off this wall and make it in, but obviously I have that fall off back over there that I want to kind of try to avoid. Not bad. I'll take the 4. So again, it rolled up, went out of bounds. That was 1. Rolled up here, I hit there, rolled back down here for 2. 3 was banked off that back wall, and then 4 went in. That's how you count out of bounds. All right, hole 5, I have not changed, but I do have some plans very soon for changing this hole. It'll be a little different. I'm not fully thrilled with this hole, but the strategy here, so you can go to the left. That's your safest strategy. The dangerous strategy here is to try to get it up into here. You want to bank it off that right wall or that right rail and poke it through this way right here. And that's the way you kind of send it down here, and that's the other way of hole-in-one-ing it. But the alternative plan that could happen is it doesn't get to the left in time and it rolls back and it goes back out of bounds. So these 2 holes, 4 and 5, have that opportunity of the ball rolling back, which is not great. There we go. All right, that worked that time, so that was 1. So I guess I could go double rail. I could go left, back, in, or I could try to go here. So if you're trying to do a rail shot going up a ramp, especially on this angle, the worry about this is because I'm not going to hit it that hard because I'm only going to here. So the softer you hit it, the more this ramp is going to affect the ball. So if I were to strike it like this, it would definitely turn here, and it has the possibility of just rolling back down. So, you know, and given I could also go for back here, rail, 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 but I always opt to go up ramps as straight as possible and not too much at an angle. So I am going to do this for the double rail, because it just seems a little bit more planned. When you go this way, again, you're dealing with the ramp, and this is a pretty long ramp, so you don't want to mess with it too much. So that wasn't bad though for 3. Okay, 6, I haven't changed anything. I'm not sure I'm going to, because I think this is one of my, I wouldn't say favorite holes, but my coolest design, I think. I kind of like this one, where the cup is in the middle. You hit it too hard, it rolls down into that area. The whole real idea is to try to hole-in-one it, which is going off this rail right here and hitting it just soft enough to go in the cup. So that's the plan. It doesn't always go to plan, but let's see how close they can get. You don't want to hit it too hard. There it is. Nice. So if that would have missed, even as slow as it was, if that would have missed, it would have easily gone down here and into that fairway. So that's not bad. I'll take a 1 on that. All right, 7. I haven't changed much. I don't think I've changed this at all. So you want to go right rail, left rail, bank off this. So I'm gonna try for this. This is what I try for, is banking off this back wall and going in the cup. So I actually try for the hole-in-one on this, which you kind of have to strike it a little harder than you would on other holes, which is very risky because it does share the fairway with hole 8 here. You can land it into here and it's just not a good space to be in. So let's see if I can hit it right. Oh, not at all. I hit my foot, so I think that's a penalty of some sort, but we're gonna just say it's out of bounds because it seemed like it was gonna go out of bounds. All right, I'm not gonna hit it that hard. I'm not gonna try to hole-in-one it. Oh, didn't clear that. All right, so there's one, again, with out of bounds. All strokes count, no penalties. So that was 1, and then this is 2, and I'm gonna be going for 3, which my idea is not to hit rails direct here. I'm always gonna try to bank off this rail to hit this rail to kind of smooth it out and leave it up here. I'm not gonna try to sink it because there's too much risk involved with that. Yeah, it's just a little easier to leave it up here. Make it for 4. All right, 8. I've changed 8 a lot. I think, although this might have been before the tournament, I don't remember. But there used to be an obstacle right in the middle here with a hole in it, and then you would try to bounce it up off the carpet through the hole. It was just ridiculous. I wanted to get rid of it, so I slid this sideways, made it this way, and put a rail here. So the whole idea here is to leave the ball right here. Like, best case scenario, right here. If it's against the rail, it's great because you can use your club to space out, but you want to have the angle where you can clear both of these obstacles, hit that back corner, and I don't think you can make it, but at least you can get it out on the green. So a 3 is the plan on this one. Okay, it was a little hard, but I think it's still a good angle. Yep, I could totally make that. It's safe. There's a nice deep green. They shouldn't have any problems. All right, that was par, so that's good. Or was that 3? No, that was a 3. It was under par, birdie. All right, 9, I haven't changed anything, I don't think. I don't think I want to change anything here. There are warts everywhere. You don't want to hit those. So what I try to do every time is hit right in between here. And best case scenario, you send it up here and there's like a 1-inch gap right here. You hit this and lands right here for a nice 2. That's the goal. And then whatever happens, you just try to audible and find out what you can do to make up for your mistakes. Yeah, so that's not bad. All right. Well, there is space, I think, to just graze that wall to hit this. I'm gonna try that because if I don't think there's another way to get over there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. Okay. Let's try to just shave off that edge. Oh, man. Well, okay. Yeah, I don't... Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to double rail it and actually try to make it for 3. That'd be really nice. Nope. I'll still take it though. So that was 4, not bad. Okay. Back 9, here we go. This is when things start to get a little bit more juicy. Hole 10. You know, you can use these rails over here, you can do whatever you want, but I always put it straight for here. I want to hit right here. If you hit right here, it should leave the ball right here. right here for a 2. That's the idea. Or my idea, at least. I don't know of anyone else that has this strategy. But works like a charm. And then definitely, I mean, even if you don't make it, it gives you a lot of options to get it up here again. Another deep green, so you can plane it up into there. For that 3, which is not a bad play. All right, 11. I did some maintenance on this. I kind of flattened the carpet out a little bit, but it still plays the same. I want to hit it off to the right here. The idea is to leave the ball right here. If you leave it right here, even if it banks off this wall, goes up here a little bit, leave it here so that you've got a nice angle to go up and bring it down here. And I'll go over how you have to hit it soft down there, because if you hit it hard, you won't make it up onto the green, and I'll show you why. Oh, that's not good. I don't think there's angle up there. Oh, one of the new things I guess I did add is this, just for frustration. Why not, right? I'm gonna bank it off this left, and I'm gonna send it up there. So you wanna use the momentum of this ramp. You don't wanna use the momentum of banking off this wall, because if you hit here, it does bounce and you don't get the traction from rolling down this hill to make it up onto this green. So you wanna you almost wanna just barely touch that top wall, if touch it at all. But the more time is spent rolling on that ramp, the more chance you have of making it up onto that green and actually making it in general. So let's see if I can. Ooh. No, not good. Ooh. I don't think the ball even moved. All right, let's try it again. I don't have a big backswing here, so it's very difficult, but there we go. Oh, bruh. You serious? Right back? Come on. I mean, let's try it again. Wow. That's harsh. Alright, so let's keep counting here, because that was 1 made it to there, 2 went up, came back, 3 went up, came back, 4 went up, landed here. So this is for 5. Hopefully I can make it here. You don't want to go over this edge, because that's, I mean, that would be it. That would be a 7 right there, and no one wants that. So I'm actually I'm gonna bank it off this. I don't think there's enough, because again, I don't want to hit this ramp on a side, because this is just a lot of angle to play a ramp. So I'm gonna send it up a little further and try to bank it off this back wall. Now, making it would be great, but just to leave it onto the green would be a lot better. Or I could go in. All right, so 5 out of that mess was good. But ideally, you want to leave it down there, and it should kind of come up. Let's just see. I want to see what would have happened here if I landed it right where I wanted it. You just send it up, done, goes in, or something like that. Yeah, so like that's what you want. You just that soft hit sends it right up to here, and it is angled really well to where it at least gets close, if not goes in. So that's pretty cool. All right, 12 I have changed. So 12 is hole-in-oneable. It was never hole-in-oneable before, and now it is. I moved this wall down. So now there's a lot more space up here and a lot more probability of sending it right onto the green and in. I've seen it happen. I haven't done it. I haven't been working on it, but from the front desk down there, I watch this hole all the time, and I've seen it, so it happens, but it's a very, very small line, but again, possible. Nope. But that's, you know, if you hit this wall, it lands down here, and then you have to try to like avoid all this. I think this is new as well. I don't remember. But yeah, I think this is a new obstacle. Placed perfectly for frustration. And then, yeah, you want to get it up there. So ideally, it would have been better to leave the ball over here so that I got a straight putt. Right now, you know, this green is very difficult just because there's no rail here, there's no rail here. So you hit it too hard, you're going off the edges, and that just adds strokes. So I could just go for it because I'm not in a tournament right now, so I could go off this back wall, send it off that wall, and go in. So let's just see if I can do that, because you might as well. But if I miss, it's gonna go off there, and then I'm gonna have to work my way back. But being here in 2, I've padded a few strokes where I could make a mistake and still come back and not 7. So, all right, I'll leave it. It's good. All right, I'll still take a 3 on that. That's good. All right, I've changed my strategies on 13. I haven't changed any part of the course other than how I play it. In the past, I've gone directly into this left wall and tried to leave the ball right here. So that's, in the end, I'm still doing that. I still want the ball to be left here, so I got a straight shot. Over here is not as good, because then you got to go off that right or that left wall. I want to leave it right here, but it's how I leave it there has changed. I don't go for this left wall anymore. I actually bank it into here. So I hit it here, it automatically hits here and sends it down. It just seems a little bit more, I don't know, more safe, I guess. But let's see if it works this time. Yeah, it's a little hard. It'll still work, I guess. Okay. I think on the last strategies video, sometimes it's more fun. If I'm literally just playing around and having fun, it's a really cool thing to hit it up this right side, because there's another shared fairway, a shareway, I guess we can call it, up this right side through here, and it actually leaves it perfect. And you can leave it ahead of this block here and leave it closer to the pin, but it's very difficult to do, but it's very satisfying when you do it. I don't have a straight shot, so I am going to have to bank it off this left wall. I'm going to try a double bank, so I've got some more room in the back of the green here. All right. Cool. I'll take it. I think that was 3, right? Yeah, that was 3. All right, 14. I've changed the weight mechanism. I've done a few adjustments on it. It's very easy now. It's very fluid. This is one of the 2 holes. It's called a cannon start or a pipe start, where you drop your ball in the hole and it comes out and locks in there. So the idea is to to use this ring here and pull this arm down, and you sling the ball up into that top hole. If you do that, it lands on the green, or sometimes it hits the green, sometimes it rolls off. It's just, you know, whatever happens there. Or you can go into this lower hole here and it sends off into the fairway. Or if you miss everything, it comes down here and lands into this little quadrant here. So you got to knock your way out of there. So let's try for the top and see what happens. Nothing. All right. Which I've worked on a really good strategy here. When I land down here, foot here, go left wall, hit it, and you're good. So you want to hit it just right. I could have used a little bit more room. Hitting a little bit harder would have been nice, but instead you leave it here, so I can probably go off that left wall and try and make it. 2 would be nice. Oh no, too hard. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right. This is where it gets interesting. So as you can see, there's no rail here. So this is another spillway or spill off, or I got a lot of words for these things, and these are called warts. They're very frustrating sometimes, but they work well. I'm going to bank it off this back wall because I don't have any way of a bank there. So I'm going to go off this back wall to hopefully go right into the cup, which is the idea there. So you get the right angle. Ah, not hard enough, man. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while, so. All right, so the one was there. Oh yeah, by the way, this first mechanism, when you drop the ball in, wherever it lands, that's stroke 1. So that's your first stroke, and then 2 was to hit it to here. 3 went off there, 4 came back here. So this is 4 or 5, or this is for the score of 5. Oh man, you take a 6 on this? Oh, that's rough. Okay, whatever. All right, 15, another pipe insert. Drop the ball in there. The ball will land at that pipe and stop. So you use your ring here to teeter-totter this, and you want to balance the ball and get it as far as possible. The problem with this is if you don't get it all the way down here to send down to there, it'll hit here and it'll go off into the wilderness over there. So even if you make it to here, it still goes down into there. So you really want to get it to here. I try to hit these bumpers as I go to slow the ball down, but let's see how well I do here. There we go. Ah, hit that. And you see, you got a really good shot. It made it all the way, and it still hit that edge, which kind of sucks that I don't even have a clear shot to the green. But I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna send it up. So like, I'm gonna hit it up here to where the ball would have hit here, or dropped there, to see if I can get the momentum to go into the cut. So, oops, I tapped it. You didn't see anything. Ah! So, that's not bad. So again, the idea is to get it as far as possible, drop it there, and it should go in. But 16 is a hole-in-one or not. There's only 2 options, hole-in-one or it's not a hole-in-one, because there's no rail here. So you hit it too hard, or if it doesn't just stay up here, you're in the mess. You're kind of down here, and it's going to take you at least 2 to 3 strokes just to recover. So, yep, so the whole idea is to just make it and remove yourself from this hole. Okay, yeah, it stayed, so that's rare to not go in and still be up there. This is a very small green. Very small green. Who made that? Not my green, not my problem. All right, 17, the last hole of the technical course. 18 is more of a fun bonus that we don't play in tournament, but for fun, you know, you can obviously play it. But 17, the whole idea is send it up to the left. This is a very similar hole to 10 or to 11, but it's on a bigger scale, and it has a little bit more oomph on the ramp here. So you want to hit it up in that left and send it down here. Ultimately, the best case scenario is to get it in this middle and then right into the hole. If you send it into this area, it usually hits this and lands out here. Same with over there. You don't get the momentum, it won't make it up the ramp here. So the other option that might happen, you hit it there, sometimes it hits the top of that little obstacle right there, which I'm thinking about adding to it. I hate to do that, but it seems like it would be more fun if I made it bigger. But if you hit that, it sometimes bounces back and goes out of bounds, and then you gotta restroke. But yeah, so I just try to hit it and hope for the best. Yeah, I don't think that's enough momentum. Nope. It's fine. Anywhere in the middle here is pretty good. I mean, you'll always have a shot for a second, or for a hole in 2. Oh, look at that. That was unfortunate. Let's try it again. All right. 3. All right. Well, that's the official course. And of course you have 18. 18 is like this. You land the ball on the top, hole, it's -3. Eyes are -1, and then the bottom is just regular, just nothing. So it's literally bonus. There's no strokes at all in this. So you'll never get a 1, never get a 2. It's just bonus. So if you're like tied or whatever the case, it's kind of fun. But again, we don't play this in tournaments. So you use this ring here to move that arm to kind of adjust your angle of how you want the ball to go down the sled and ricochet off. So I usually, like, you know, honestly, like, I only lift it about that much. I don't lift it all that much. But what I do is after the ball hits it, I let go, because the ball usually bounces off that right wall, hits the top of that, and goes in that top hole. But let's see if my strategy works. And then I drop the ball from the very top spot. And then drop. Oh, didn't reach. So that's it. Yeah, that's the course. So I was gonna go over why I made the changes on 1 and why I'm gonna make a few other changes to the course or on specific holes, because I want every hole to have at least 2 options of getting to the green. So let's go back to 1. I want to show you again why I did that. So there's a new option for playing the course with mandos, they call them. If you're into disc golf, or I don't know how many other sports use it, but mandatories, meaning the ball or the object has to go through an upright or a tee of some sort, has to go through a section to make it valid. So, okay. So the idea here, hole 1 originally was like hit to the right, hit to the left, and go in. There was only one path. That was the only path you could go. So in order to make a mandatory, you couldn't tell someone to go a different path because there was only one path. So right now, as the hole is, this right here will be a mandatory. So this is definitely an option. You don't have to play this way, but it makes the course a little more difficult and adds a new edge to it. So if the mandatory is this area and you have to go this way, so there's going to be like M's with arrows, but it goes this way. So if you go through here, great, then hole works as normal, because you wouldn't normally go this way. I don't see any feasible way or why you would ever go through this area, but it's possible, you can. So if this is a mandatory and you accidentally go beyond it, you have to come back around, or you can come this way, but you have to go through the way this way, from right to left, or from forward to back. So if you end up over here and you're like, oh shoot, you have to use a stroke to come here and use a stroke to go back through in order to make your hole count. If you don't go through the mandatory, sometimes there's a penalty, but for this course, it's going to be an automatic 7. So if you make it, let's say you hole in one it, and you didn't go through the mandatory, it's a 7. So if you make it and you don't get through the mandatory, again, it's an automatic 7. So you're gonna want to come back around to maybe not get a 7 or a 6 at best sometimes. Let me show you on 2. So 2, the mandatory, or the mando, is going to be this area right here. So if you hit the ball and it lands down into here, you just have to hit it up into this area, make it stop, and you have to go through the mandatory this way at some point. If you go through here and it sends it back down to here, that's fine. You went through it. As long as you go through it during your turn, now you can just make it from wherever. It doesn't matter. But the whole idea is at some point in your turn, you have to cross through the mandatory at the right angle, or the right direction, from this way to that way. And there'll be arrows and a big M. So that's like one of the ideas. So again, another option for 11, you would never go through this area normally. There's just no reason you would find yourself over here. But if this is the mandatory, this is where you have to go through. So it just kind of changes the beginning of your approach. So you would want to leave the ball kind of here instead of going for down there, because you have to hit it through here at some point. And one of the tragic options I might be choosing is on hole 4, the mandatory might be the spill off. I don't know yet. I've got to play through and do a lot of play testing to see how frustrating it is, but the whole idea would be to come back around this hole. You have to fall off this at some point going this way to reach the mandatory, then you got to go back around and still make it in under 7, which I mean, I can do it, some good players could do. I don't know if that's going to be even like possible for you know, average players. So I want to make sure it's still fun. It's going to be a difficult version of the course. It's when you play the course so many times that you're like, okay, I need to add some more strategy to it. The co-op mode is also available, so I'm going to do a video on that next week probably as well. But yeah, as of right now, those are the changes of the course. This is how it is right now at the end of July. So stop by, have some fun, play the course, and we will see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.